This is a 2018 Chrysler Pacifica, and today we're working on replacing the fuel pressure sensor and also number one fuel injector. To do this fuel injector, we're going to do the fuel injector first. We have to first disconnect the battery. Okay, disconnect the negative battery, and we're gonna have to take off. Got to take this piece out the way. Put this here for a second. So that damn piece out the way, because the reason why you have to move that is because you have to move this. It's like I guess it's like a vacuum, like a pump, or maybe that's like a EGR type of thing there. So there's gonna be three nuts that go on here, but there's a stud, but that's on the actual intake. So once you disconnect the battery, you're gonna remove the screw here. You can use a Phillips screwdriver or use an 8mm socket. Take this off, and then you're gonna work on taking off your throttle body assembly. That's gonna be an 8mm. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. Move that out the way. You don't disconnect it, because we don't know if we have to relearn it. So that's why I disconnected the battery. Just leave that connected. Once you get the throttle body out the way, you can work on taking these 10mm bolts off. It's gonna be 3 of them. 1, and it's gonna be 2 on the bottom. And then you're gonna have to work on getting these holes right here. Is where there's gonna be 2 10mm bolts, and there's gonna be another one right here. Another 10mm bolt is gonna go here, and that bolts into the actual to the intake. So it's gonna be a 10 that's gonna be here, and it's gonna be a 10 that's gonna be there. Okay, and this is the 10 nuts I was talking about for the that little pump or EGR valve that goes in here. Okay, and then you gotta make sure you disconnect this connector. It's like a map sensor. Disconnect that. Then these bolts here are gonna be 8mm. I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3. This 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's 8. So there's 8 bolts you gotta take off. And then on the throttle body, you remember those bolts I was telling you about? It's gonna be 8s. 1, 2, 3, 4. We gotta take off. And then just disconnect it from here. You just push this in and then pull up. Just push this white tab in and pull up. I tried getting this one off, but I couldn't get it off. It was a little difficult, so I just went for the easiest one. Push this in and pull up. Okay. And also, before you put the intake on, the upper intake, you must make sure you replace the gaskets. If you don't replace the gaskets, you can cause a lean code, and that would be bigger issues. Okay. And the number one injector is here. To access it, you don't have to necessarily disconnect the whole fuel rail, because it's a plastic, so it moves a little bit, but don't bend it too much, because you will create a problem. So you're gonna just disconnect these screws here. They Torx 30s, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you just use a little screwdriver and you just pry up here, and you could get to your injector. But before you remove this injector rail, what you're gonna do is use a small screwdriver and hit that tab and pry it up, pop it out, and then you can disconnect. You press this tab in. After you press the tab up, press this in, and you pull up, then you can access your injector number one. Okay, but I recommend just disconnecting all three of these injectors here, and then you can get to your number one injector. And this is the harness that we're going to be changing today, because Chrysler decided to update. They decided to upgrade their connector. And here's the OEM. Sorry for the barking. Here is the part number from Mopar is 68137864 AC-001. Okay, this is the spice kit that we have, and this here is just an insulator for the ignition coils. It goes like so. So make sure you put this back is to prevent. Oh, actually no, this is a silencer for the intake. Okay, so that's how it goes like that. And then I'm gonna move this to the side. This is like an evap hose. I'll move that to the side. And we're gonna put this to the side like that for now. Now we're gonna get ready to put this back here. So get ready to put back the intake. Once we get the intake and everything back on, we'll make a video on how to splice the harness. This is Top Notch Mobile Repair. If you have any questions, feel free to message us and we'll be happy to assist you. We are based out of Orlando. Be back momentarily.